Hi, I'm Kymberley Carter-Paige and I'm a coach and clinical hypnotherapist. I teach people how to take back their minds from the programs that have been installed in them. I hope that you can stay with me for the next 15 minutes where I can offer you some tools for a calmer life.
We need you to stay in your home for a couple weeks. It's for the greater good. We need you to close your business just for a short time. It's for the greater good. We need you to stay home just a little bit longer than 2 weeks. It's for the greater good. We need you to wear this on your face. It's for the greater good. We need you to wear 2 of these on your face. It's for the greater good. We need you to inject this into your body. It's for the greater good. We need you to spend the holidays alone. It's for the greater good. You must inject this into your body if you want to feed your family. It's for the greater good. We need you to stop driving your car and flying. It's for the greater good. We need you to stop saying that. It's hurting some people's feelings. This is for the greater good. We need to separate you from your children because you're not complying. This is for the greater good. We need to hold you in a facility for a little while for not cooperating. This is for the greater good.
Kymberley, I said in the last little piece of advice for the day that we would look at how the subconscious mind works. You referred to that in our first little talk. Tell us the difference between the subconscious and our conscious mind and how each one gets shaped.
So the conscious mind is your everyday use of your 5 senses. So what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell, and everything that's happening right here, right now. The subconscious mind and things like anxiety work in the past and in the future, very rarely in the now, unless you're in your head. And the subconscious mind's filters are programmed from age of 0 to 7. And everything that happens, everything you see, everything you experience becomes your lens, your filter for the rest of your life. So if you had a narcissistic, abusive father, then this is why people quite often look for, unknowingly, narcissistic men as partners. Because that's normal. The subconscious is saying this is normal. This is how a woman is treated by a man, and that's normal. Along with other things, everything that you experience, you sort of look at through that lens. So anything that happens in your life, the subconscious will go, oh, yes, I remember that. This is how we react because it's going through that filter. So when you use your 5 senses of your conscious mind, that information is put through that filter. And the reason you react the way you are is because of the filter it's going through. So when people are anxious and they get that sucker punch, that feeling of, something's really uncomfortable, and then the negativity comes in their mind, it's because there is a trigger there somewhere within the past that the subconscious is connected to.
So how does your work doing hypnotherapy, which is different from hypnotism, how does it differ from hypnotism? How does hypnotherapy work? And how can it unlock that so someone doesn't have to live as a prisoner of their past?
Yeah. Well, hypnotherapy is about more like self-hypnosis. So it's teaching individuals to be able to take themselves down to a deep, relaxed level. Now, the subconscious mind controls the body. So like when you start to learn to drive a car, you have to think about everything, don't you? Oh yeah, I've got the indicators and I've got to look in the mirror and I've got to adjust the seat and everything. But then now you can just get in the car and you just drive it because the subconscious has learnt which muscles, how to move the hands, everything you need to do has become an automatic program. So this is how the programs from your child work. They become automatic.
So how can you actually undo it so you're not a prisoner
Right.
of that programming from, say, your first 7 years, or programming that's happened since?
And so how you undo the program of the subconscious mind is through repetition of the opposite way, or with hypnotherapy. When the body is relaxed, the conscious mind isn't working, isn't listening. It's just in a relaxed state. And so the programs go straight to the subconscious. And you can undo the subconscious programs by understanding what happened. And the subconscious will take you there if you guide it. If you ask what the very first time I felt this feeling is, the subconscious can take you back to that feeling. And understanding is power. Once you understand why you reacted that way as a child, you could look at it and go, but I'm an adult now. I don't need to react that way. Because somebody bullied me as a child, I'm an adult now. I can get in the car. I can pick up a phone. I actually don't have to put up with it. And so you understand that things have changed because the subconscious mind doesn't. And unless you tell it things have changed, then you'll carry on repeating the same patterns.
That's fascinating because, yes, you can intellectually understand something and yet you can emotionally react an old way that's very familiar.
Exactly, because you feel it in your body first.
Yes.
And the
yes.
subconscious controls the body.
And so take us deeper into that. Give us an example of a story. We'll make it an anonymized story, obviously, of a client you've had and how you've used that hypnotherapy to go deeper with that client beneath the programming they have.
I had a 12-year-old. A mother brought a 12-year-old to me who had gone to start intermediate school and a new classroom, was really excited because all her friends were going to be there. It was a new school. She had a school uniform on, got to the trial day, got to the classroom and had an absolute panic attack and meltdown. And her mum was very confused because where had it come from? It came out of nowhere. She took her home, thought maybe she wasn't well, something had happened. The next morning, she was in her school uniform again. Yep, I'm ready to go. I'm really excited. Same thing happened, and again and again. So she took her to counselling. They talked to the previous school. Was she bullied? What was going on? Nothing came up from it. I'm always the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. So she brought her to see me and we did some just deep relaxation and hypnosis, and I asked her to tell me 3 things that happened that made her feel that feeling, and she gave me 3 memories of what happened as a child. Nothing really serious or traumatic, but things that just made her jump a bit.
So I just want to stop you there. At this stage, is the child aware of the surroundings, or is she semi-asleep?
No, she's just semi-asleep. She's just
it's
relaxed.
Like she's semi-asleep.
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
And so she told me one thing that happened in a library, one in a swimming pool, and one at a friend's house. And I couldn't connect anything to do with school. And I sort of looked at her mum and went, so I said to her, again, she's semi-asleep, can you have a look at these scenes and tell me what is the connecting thing between these scenes and this going to school? And she went, the floor's blue. And so we said to the subconscious mind, the floor wasn't the danger, but because the subconscious could only find the link, it could only find was a blue carpet or blue floor, it decided that when she went somewhere new that had a blue floor, it was dangerous and threw her into a panic. So once we cleared that and said to the subconscious mind, but actually the floor didn't harm you, she went to school.
That's extraordinary.
Isn't it?
So in one session, basically, you had a really good result.
Yeah.
Does that happen often?
Yes.
Kymberley, this could be very, very positive for New Zealanders. Let's take a personal case. I was assaulted by a policeman. And for a long time after that assault, not only was I in a lot of pain, but I found every time a police car passed me on the road, I noticed my breathing changed and I felt deep anxiety. So it's not just those first 7 years that can cause it.
True.
I want to now cut to the COVID years when we had a prime minister in New Zealand and we had them all around the world placed into position probably by the UN and the World Economic Forum. All of these supposed leaders were making their own people highly anxious with these daily reports on imagined illness numbers. And I say imagined because I have interviewed doctors since who said I was in the hospitals were empty. there was no pandemic. So we had these numbers every day. You must watch TV. We'll tell you the numbers. We'll tell you when we can open up the country again. So we all watched because they had supposedly this control. But it seemed to me like a major piece of anxiety building across our nation. What do you say the whole COVID era was, and how much has it programmed people around the world?
This is the difference between hypnotherapy and hypnosis. So hypnosis, during COVID, you had the music, the COVID tune.
Sound.
You had the yellow and white banners around everything.
I can't look at that.
You had the hideous, slow talk from Jacinda Ardern every day. And you had the fear of death. Those are a perfect soup recipe for hypnosis. And because it is fear-based, the subconscious takes it on much more readily than anything else. So what happens, the subconscious connects all of those little things and images, and it decides that those things mean death, means a chance that you're not going to survive. And so it creates that sucker punch every time you see a QR code. You know, I don't want to go out now. People were too frightened to go out. And that was because of that hypnosis effect. I'm going to see a QR code. You know, I could die from, you know, there's no logic with it. It was just anything to do with how that was programmed gave them a feeling that they were in danger. And so that's why people shut down themselves. They didn't have to be shut down. They isolated themselves. They found it too hard to do things. They couldn't think straight because the subconscious is survival mode. And when we're in survival mode, we cannot think clearly. This is why so many people may still be confused, because their mind, when it is in that self-survival, the conscious mind steps back and allows the survival mind, the subconscious, to come forward. There's no rational thinking.
Wow, so there's no ability to critically think and say that does not make sense. I'm not seeing ambulances go past my house every day on a main road. I'm not seeing people in the hospital wards, but I won't speak up. I'll just listen to the TV and do what they say.
Because I need to survive.
So I want to take that back to something I often wondered when the Jewish people were arrested en masse in World War II. I often wondered why so many people went along with what the Germans wanted. They were pushed into ghettos, and then they were pushed on trains, and then they were pushed into concentration camps. But there were many of them and few of the German soldiers. They could have risen up. But do you think the same thing happened then?
Yes. Yeah.
They were just so in such overwhelm that they were frozen.
Yeah, frozen completely. Yeah, you cannot think straight when you're in overwhelm. Anybody will know in a stressful work situation, you know, when you've got so much work going on your mind in your life, you've got so many things to do, you make mistakes. And that's because your rational thinking mind isn't firing on all cylinders. You're just surviving. You're working on automatic pilot. And so that's what creates that problem. Why so many people haven't woken up still.
We will dig in next time into the reasons you see for a certain number of people being able to resist the programming. I'm very interested in that, but I want to end, as we always do, on something really positive. So what can be done to help a mind of an adult that has become semi-frozen or frozen by a trauma that's happened in adulthood? For me, I've had to look constantly at the police cars, not look away, and remind myself as I drive past them just to breathe, and they're not hurting me now.
Yeah.
But it took a while. So what would you say to those adults who've been traumatized by the last 5 years, Kim?
I love to use my favorite tool of all time is I use delete, uncreate, and destory. So, for instance, when my children used to drive down from Auckland, when they left, my mind would go, oh, you know, they could have a car accident and this could happen. And you just go, really? And I just go delete. After the delete, it's uncreate. So that means uncreate anything that's gone back through my life that has created this fear that this could possibly happen. And then destory is destory, get rid of everything that's all around that. Because when this happens, that will happen, and then this will happen. So those three words I find extremely powerful. They just allow my subconscious mind to go, oh, okay then. and I just then get on with what I'm going to do and consciously touch, feel, smell, because then the subconscious will step back. Irrational thinking, conscious mind will come forward.
And that ties in with what you said in our first piece, which we'll put underneath, which is take a moment to be here right now. Take a breath.
Yeah.
And see that no accident has happened to your children.
Yeah.
Nothing bad has happened. So it's the same with the whole COVID fear-mongering, the virus fear-mongering that they're doing. Just say, this is not in my world, and I'm not going to buy into it.
Yeah, you can notice it because the subconscious needs you to notice it because it's saying, hey, look, there's danger here. So we don't ignore it, but we notice it and then go, yep, actually, that's not relevant right now. So I'm going to delete, uncreate, and destory.
Delete,
uncreate, and destory.
Destory. I love it. And we'll talk next time about why those minds that were able to withstand the hypnotism of the governments around the world, why they worked in that way. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. Thank you.